Hey everybody out there, Chris and Mike here, and welcome back to another indie comic book review. Unfortunately, a little late. That's due to the fact that I was sick, and now Michael's sick.
No, I'm getting over allergies.
Just breathe that way throughout the rest of the review, and we'll be fine.
Fine, I'll breathe this way.
So anyway, we got a lot of books this week. We've got 13 digital books, a lot of physical books that we didn't count again, and we have one book that came out 2 weeks ago. And we're going to actually start with that book. So Mike's going to be reviewing. Oh, by the way, the books that came out this week were released on
November 16, 2014.
So, anyway, before we get into those books, though, the book Mike will be reviewing is Sorority of Power, issue number 8. It's finally here.
Yep. I'm waiting for this.
Came out the same week as Argo 5, but we got it a week later, so.
Yes, so basically in this comic book, it talks about how Jason wants to create some type of machine.
He was also in Sorority of Power issue 6.
Right, because Harold was creating something else and it didn't work out. So he wants to take out the Sorority of Power team since Harold couldn't do it. So I like how they have like this volleyball game going on, and then everything just gets like a little bit too out of the way, and that picture right there, thought that was something else.
Right.
But you know, it's just the sorority sisters against the regulars, and you know, but that's all fun and games and everything. But going into something serious, as the story continues, we do see him appear again with in the book, where there's lots of stuff going on. He tries to use the machine to basically
Hack into their suits.
that, and also take them out and do stuff that they want to do. So it's like mind control, basically. And Muska, her name?
Muska, yeah.
Yeah, she just one punch and bam, because she was small, but then at a time she grows to normal size again, and they took him out. So that's basically in the book. You do have some pin arts, which are very nicely drawn.
I love the Terry Dots and Leopard Lass.
Yeah, Leopard Lass actually got a little bit darker from what
the coloring, yeah. We
coloring.
talked to Dan about that.
Yeah, but I liked it. As always, 5 giggity goose stars, and really something to check it out.
All right,
So, yeah.
now there is one other book that did not come out this week that Mike wants to do. I think it's the first book.
Yeah, this one.
Yes.
Yes, from the Superhero Network, Paragon, issue number 3. And just to sum it up, it focuses on...
oh, and just to throw it out there, Mike did also review issue 2 a while back. Really quick, what was issue 2 about?
Basically, issue 2 was talking about his father and, you know, like how he lived with him, and he was over... Yeah, it's that artwork, which was very nice. And basically, he was trying to, like, this is how he got his new powers, and, you know, he had a little bit rough at first, but then he got very easy at the end, and, you know, I did review that, and it was very good.
Hey guys, sorry about that, a little malfunction with the camera. Mike,
Yeah.
We just talked about Paragon issue 2. Mike is now going to go into issue number 3.
Issue number 3.
He already started it, and then the camera screwed up, so we're just going to start over with number 3.
So basically, Paragon issue number 3 focuses on Latasha, basically, and this is right here. And he's this girl that he fell in love with, that he would do anything for her and everything else. We learn about her family background, like that she was poor and she really didn't have that much of a great role model. And we get more about him being like a superhero, and there was this little boy who wanted to get in this house and couldn't because there was a gang that happened there, so he took them all out for him. Love the splash page. Like, it's...
I like the artwork.
Yeah, the artwork as well is just really amazing. And I believe we get another little dialogue about another character, but we don't know who it is because it's a different interlock. What? I don't have room. So, you know, and then at the end, well, let's just say you guys definitely have to read the ending part about when him and Latasha talked about some stuff that's pretty interesting.
And you can get this book at Superhero Network.
Oh yeah,
I believe it's .com.
Yeah, right here. SuperheroNetworks.com.
Actually, no, it says something else.
For what?
SHNcomics.com. You
Right.
can get it at SHNcomics.com.
And that's what I was showing. So, really great stuff. Looking forward.
Really nice
to the next
artwork.
issue. Absolutely. All right, Archie Comics Sonic Universe issue number 70, and this is the Knuckles and Rouge variant cover, and it's Total Eclipse, the last part. So, start off where Knuckles and Shao were facing each other, and apparently distractions led to Eclipse to get the Master Emerald, and lots of stuff happened. Of course, you know, when they fight, they get together again, since they were being thick-headed, which I agree with Rouge on that. So now they gotta find a way to get this Master Emerald, since Knuckles knows all the traps, Eclipse can fall into them. So artwork is really excellent, as well as Eclipse trying to escape, but doesn't. Let's see. And yeah, there's all about the Knuckles using the Chaos Emerald, with the Master Emerald, of course, because you could do anything. And after that, there's just the whole thing where, you know, it looks like Eclipse, you know, did he really escape? And he'll be back. I mean, you know it's not going to be the end of it. So basically, the Master Emerald stayed in the Angel Zone where Knuckles can protect it, and everybody doesn't have to, you know. There was, I think, a part mentioned, I don't know if it was this one or next one, where the worlds will probably act up again, which leads to probably Worlds Unite for future issues, so you never know. Another Archie Comics of Mega Man, and that's issue number 43. And in Mega Man, basically, he goes up against Magnet Man, so he took care of Gemini Man. Show you guys some artwork right here, and you know, he just fights like every villain that's spot on to them in every issue, and Magnet Man almost got him, but in the end, you know, Mega Man doesn't want to kill people, and he's like saying, "Why are you saying kill me in the end? All the Wally robots." That's kind of weird. Then he goes up against Needle Man, who says the same thing in the end. And he says, "I wasn't built to kill, I was built to bring justice." And all that stuff. Then Wally's getting very suspicious as a mad scientist. And there's like going to be a thrilling conclusion about finding out the true meaning of Dr. Wily. So that's going to be really interesting. Highly recommended. Definitely check this out if you're a Mega Man fan. And see for yourselves. Alright, next book is yours from Image.
Invincible, issue number 115. This shows two characters that I've really very rarely read anything of because I haven't read in a while, but it revolves around, oh god, what was his name? I forgot the guy's name. Wow, that's great.
The main character, or?
No, the Monarch, who was the leader of the Veltramites, and I forgot the tiger's name, the Tiger Man's name. The artwork is gorgeous in the book, though.
Yeah.
Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Well, the guy is Tharag. I can't remember the leopard. But anyway, it's this big epic fight between the two of them, and it was an awesome book. This was really good. And Tharag obviously wants to repopulate and build up his the Veltramite empire again. And he is, and we find out what he's how he's doing it at the end of this issue. But basically, this issue is literally just what I said. It's a big brawl between the two characters. I can't believe I forgot this guy's name. It's my fault. I really can't remember at the moment. I remember reading this a while ago. But anyway, the book was excellent. The fight was really good. And next issue, I believe, the focus goes back to Invincible and what's going on Earth, which I like that. But this is a really quick read. I mean, other than the dialogue between the two characters here, it was really just a very quick read, and the story, the point was straight to the point. I enjoy it. I love Invincible each and every time it comes out.
All right, we have one of each from Xenoscope, Dark
and then we
Shaman.
have one that's digital.
Yeah, Dark Shaman 204. So in last issue, we learned about Kolb's power of what she can do. In this one, we learn more about the Dark Shaman and what it does.
Shaman.
Yeah, Shaman, that's what I said. And what it does to people, and, you know, they want to get out of the house, but, you know, they can't because there's this thing out there that killed Valerie, which is, you know, who they kept referring to. And then they said, Kolb, you're crazy. You know, you got to go to the hospital because of your issue and stuff. Trying to show a page that isn't gory. Like, this is good, right?
No.
No?
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one. Right here. So, in this one, you know, it just talks about the Dark Shaman and how they're going to escape all this. And, you know, and everybody's just not understanding about Kolb's condition of why she's like the way she is. And, oh boy, next issue, it's going to get very intense. I can't wait to see the next issue. Highly recommended, really awesome. Gotta get the book. Xenoscope provides the excellent books that you could ever imagine reading. Absolutely.
Grimm Fairy Tales, issue 104, Rise of the Water Nymphs, part 1 of 2. This book spotlights Haley, and it happens directly after the events of Miss Liedel, so to speak, and what she did with Belinda. So Haley is being brought back to Neverland, and Wolf, Sky, and Ali actually try to save her before she's pulled back into the water, and apparently the water is the portal to Neverland. Ali gets left behind, but Sky and Wolf actually end up back in Neverland with her. And the mother brought her back because there's this great war between the water nymphs and somebody else that's about to start, the Sirens, basically. And we get the background story on how Haley's mom left, why she left Neverland, because of the reign of Pan. She fell in love with a human man. They ended up separating. She went back to Neverland, but she left her daughter with the father. And then when the daughter discovered her powers, that's when they sent her to, what do you call it, Sela and Shang's school, so she could learn how to control her powers, etc., etc. But then the mother realized after what happened in the very beginning, where there was a genie on the loose, she decided to bring her daughter back because of the war, and she needs her daughter there because basically her daughter is a big handicap, and Haley wants nothing to do with her mother. She basically said, haven't you done enough bad stuff to me? I really don't want to be here, and I'm going home now. Sela shows up after the Sirens show up. There's a bit of a fight that goes on. Sela tries to save everyone. However, somebody might have accidentally got left behind in Neverland. So it looks like they are going to end up having to go back to save that person. Who was it? How did it happen? Drop your covers and read the book. Excellent writing, excellent artwork. I mean, you can't ask for a better combination. Grimm Fairy Tales 104 was fantastic.
Yep. And speaking of Grimm Fairy Tales, we do have a digital copy of the
Holiday Special 2014.
Yes. And
sorry, it's the Grimm Fairy Tales 2014 Holiday Edition.
Right. And in this comic book, it just talks about, you know, how they get together in the beginning, and they talk about
it's the holiday season.
Right. And there's a story that they're talking about called Krampus. Now, Krampus is this sort of monster thing, but it goes into a story about this guy, what was his name? It starts with the letter A, Alija, or however you say it. And he was this guy who protected people, but he never killed anyone. So one night he tested his talents by, this guy taking children, and this girl was going to kill him, and then he said, our law is not to kill. And they thought that was a true meaning of Christmas, of how he learned that. But how does the Krampus get into the story? So as the issue gets forward, they learn to go after the guy who they kept prison that took the child has escaped. So he now wants to go look for him and possibly do what the law said what wasn't to do, which was killing. No, that was the first encounter after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the artwork is beautiful. Definitely beautiful. So he's just trying to go after him because no one else wants to go after him because they're afraid that he's going to have their child taken away. So he goes all by himself. And that's where we learn about the Krampus monster that comes into the story. But Sela actually makes an appearance. Well, not makes an appearance, like she actually is involved in this. And she gets this whole thing, of, like, basically she knows where this monster is. And she tries to stop him. So they're like saying, I don't want you to take my daughter away. So, just because, that's the one who really takes the child away. Krampus. Not the guy that was held captive in the first place. And then the monster said at the end, you got 1 full year. And if you want to know what he meant by that, read the book. That was interesting. And it gives you that thinking of 1 full year, what could happen next. Absolutely amazing. And definite recommendation. Mm-hmm. Of course, Godzilla's in it too, but that's what makes it even more interesting.
It's interesting how it ended with somebody else getting, you have 1 year.
Well, yeah, but I didn't want to, that's why I said read the book. I don't want to give too much away. So, definitely something to look into.
Honorable mention goes out to this month's issue of Peanuts. Peanuts issue number 23. Really enjoy reading Peanuts each and every month. Love the artwork, love the stories, great stuff. And then, of course, you got the classic stuff at the end. You got a Snoopy story. You can't ask for anything more. If you're a fan of Peanuts, you're going to love this book.
Yep.
Now we're going into the other stuff. We're in Dynamite. And we are in the last part to Army of Darkness. Ash gets hitched. Issue number 4.
You got a little tongue twisted there.
Yes, I did. So Ash goes up against the Faceless Man. And gets the shit beaten out of him.
Literally.
Quite literally. Until finally he gets the upper hand. As he always does. It's Ash after all. And that's the bulk of the book. Ash goes back to Sheila and the Wizard. And then it's wedding day. And he gets married.
Of course, we didn't see that coming.
Oh, and then this is the best part of all.
Oh,
and then he gets drunk. And he's like,
Uh-huh.
and then she's like, you're going to get yourself killed. You're going to get so drunk. He's like, I'm fine. Look, I can even remember those words now. And he says the words.
Cataclysm Friatas Neptune. Oh, no.
And guess what? He gets shot back. He gets shot through time.
Unbelievable.
Find out what
Why?
happens next in Army of Darkness 1992.1.
Oh, when's that come out? Or is it already out?
It's going to be coming out soon.
Oh. See what happens when
I think
you get
it's
drunk?
out already if I'm not mistaken. But man,
wow.
dialogue saved, of course, but that's the bulk of the book, and I enjoyed it.
How I remember those 3 words, Clatus, Fratas, Neptus.
Because it's such a stupid saying that you can't forget it.
That would make sense. Okay, now we're going into...
Solar, Man of the Atom issue number 7.
Yes. And his daughter Erica is actually being more tougher instead of like, oh, I'm all about me and I'm not going to learn anything and yada yada yada. She gets more serious in this issue. So she's trying to use math because she realized that math could save her life with getting powers of what she needs. So she has this conversation with this robot about, it's like a big long dialogue. And it talks about her father, what he did a long time ago. So he comes back as the story continues, and the robot that led Erica into these rooms were the robots that wanted to kill her. And she's like telling him, lead me to a room where I won't be killed, and all that stuff. And she has a nickname called, like Mother, Father, or whatever it was called. Commander Mother. I can't remember at the moment. So all three of them are working together to escape the ship where she was. And basically they're trying to get into a captive thing to escape. And they do. But there's someone who wants to take both of them out.
And get his revenge.
Exactly. And things are going to get very heated up in this issue, and that makes it more interesting. So, really good.
Alright, we're in Dark Horse, and it's all my books this time. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Season 10, Issue number 9. Buffy and Spike are fighting the Soul Glutton. You got Willow, who's trying to find Andrew to stop him. And that's the bulk of the book, honestly. She finds Andrew after a while, and basically he's trying to make right with... He ended up being the reason why Tara, who obviously was close to Willow, he's the reason why she died, so he wants to resurrect her to make good on some of the bad deeds he's done. And Willow tries to stop him. You have Buffy and Spike trying to defeat the Soul Glutton before the resurrection, because then he'll be unstoppable. Really good book. And you even have Spike telling Buffy he never really loved her. It was just well, if you want to know what he considers it, you'll have to read the book. And then he tells her, if the Soul Glutton eats my soul, I don't want to go back to that dark person. Promise me you'll end me. And let's just say everything works out in the end, but there's a little bit of a twist to Andrew's ending, so to speak. And we'll leave it at that. Yeah. But definitely something interesting. It was a really good read. Love the artwork, and I love the story. So that's it for Buffy. Straightforward, really nice story. Can't wait for the next issue. And of course I left out a bunch because I want you guys to read it. Now, there's a problem with this book, but let's get into it first. Terminator Salvation, The Final Battle, issue 11 of 12. I never received issue 10. So...
We did.
We never got it. So, there's a bit of a gap between what happened in issue 9 and where we're at now. So, I was a little bit lost at the beginning of this book, but I caught myself up pretty fast. Basically, John Connor transferred his mind into a Terminator to go up against, what was his name?
Parasol?
Yeah, Parnell.
Parnell, yeah.
And that's basically what happens. Parnell basically knows what's going on with Dr. Kogan and John Connor. He sends a bunch of Terminators in to destroy John Connor before he successfully kills Parnell as a Terminator. And it looks like Parnell actually succeeded until something happened.
Oh my god.
So let's just say Parnell didn't exactly make it out. And then John Connor, as a Terminator, is left with a decision to make with Skynet.
Whoa, John Connor
is a Terminator now.
So wait. So he's not human.
I don't know if it's human. They don't show you if his human body was destroyed or not. They just show that there was a disruption.
That's kind of confusing. And it's to be concluded, too, in the next issue.
Yes. So I'm looking forward to the grand finale of Terminator Salvation. It is really good. I just feel like I lost out on a chunk of the story because I missed an issue. Hopefully at some point I'll be able to find an issue 10 so I could fill in the gaps, so to speak. And now, the story that just keeps me coming back for more because I'm loving it. Predator Fire and Stone, issue number 2 of 4. This takes place during Alien vs. Predator and after Aliens, Prometheus, and Aliens. Between Prometheus and Aliens, I'm sorry. So, starts off with the Predator fighting an alien. This is years ago. And he finds markings about the engineers. So now he's on the great hunt for the engineers. And now he's on Galago's ship. And he has the engineer's weapon. So the Predator wants him to take... The Predator wants Galago to take him to the planet where he got the gun, because that's where the engineer is. At first he's like, no, you'll have to kill me. And then, of course, the coward that he is, right when he's about to be killed by the Predator, he's like, no, I'll take you, but I'm only taking you. I'm not going to stay with you. They go to the planet, and guess what? Handcuffs. And he ends up having to go on the planet with the Predator anyway. And now they're on the hunt for the great engineer. And the last time Galago was on the planet, remember, there was hundreds of thousands of aliens. And there's a flashback to what happened in the recent issue of Prometheus, issue number 3. And then him running away. And the Predator and him find the graveyard that the engineer was making, where he was killing all the aliens. And then they get trampled by these gigantic, they look like bull-like, perverted versions of a bull or whatever. And then guess what? Remember the people that Galago left behind in Prometheus issue 3 or 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're still survivors. And they basically say, welcome back. But now that you're back, you're going to die here.
Wow.
To be continued.
Bold statements.
So I love how Galago's character really went from one personality, and he's completely different now. I mean, when we started in Prometheus, he seemed like a different type of character, and as the story progressed and as we got into the other different stories, his true personality came out. And I love how it's like started off one way and now his characteristics turned him into somebody else. But at the same time, really interesting character. And personally, I'm loving everything that's going on in the Fire and Stone series thus far.
Alright, we're in Exo Man of War, issue number 30. Now, is it just me, or has Eric changed his attitude a bit? Because in this comic book, I kind of noticed that Eric's ways have changed a bit in some areas. Like, he's still for the people, don't get me wrong. But I think with the whole suit, I think it's been messing with his mind a little bit too much. As well as it's a long dialogue, and I don't want to give too much away. But just to make this as short and brief as possible, he does a mission where, well, he sees a mission that's being done, and he's covering that mission and everything, but he's just trying to get everything together. So he uses his suit to go out on the mission of fighting against this weird-looking creature.
It looks like an alien beast kind of thing.
Yeah, I think it was like an alien beast sort of thing, and let's just say he got it at a halfly done pace, is all I'm going to say there. And
he cut his challenge in half.
Well, I was...
Keep going.
Do you have to... Anyway, yeah. So he's talking with the Lady Colonel about, you know, stuff that he has to do for his next mission, and I don't know, something tells me that Lady Colonel, I think, is part of the reason why his attitude's changing with the whole, like, if you don't do what I say, your land will be, you know, and all this stuff. Like, remember in issues back when that happened? So, I'm thinking that either the suit or that Lady Colonel is getting to his head. And that's not good for him.
And then soon, Dead Hand
is coming. So, that definitely look forward to.
And now we have one more book from Image.
Yep, and I believe this is the last issue.
Protectors, Inc., issue number 10.
And we find out who was behind the whole murder.
Yes, and this has to be the end of the book.
Right, so one of the teammates were backstabbed the Protectors, Inc., and went on the other side because they thought that they didn't care about him. So it's basically the detective and, I forgot what his name was. But they actually talk about, you know, how the murder was planned with the whole sky thing that happened issues back with the thunder and lightning and all that stuff. More is explained in this book, and it makes a lot more sense as well. So as the issue continues, they find a way to get all that out of them. Like there was something in them that made them powerful. And that woman wanted to give up her powers. Like, remember when that angel...
Yeah.
Yeah. we find out she has cancer and she only had like a year or so to live, and the detective wanted to spend more time with her with the time that she had left, and that was a heartfelt moment right there for that. And it was just something else. Even the ending part, it just like gets you like right here just to see what happened in the end. And the ending part I can't give away. Let's just say they put their hands in something and we don't know what happens. More is explained if you read the book, but wow. The ending just, it just got me really hard. In a good way.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd recommend you get the whole set. By far the best detective book that you could ever read.
Alright, we're concluding with IDW, and of course it had to be this horrible book the only book I have left. But give us just 1 second and we will be back with the books from actually IDW. Alright, and we're back, and I'm starting off and finishing with my books at least with Godzilla Cataclysm issue 4. Didn't enjoy this issue. I don't find any interest in this story, to be honest.
Did you say you're going to drop this issue? Cause
I was until I read the very end of this issue. Apparently, unlike Rulers of Earth, this next issue is the grand finale. The next issue of this book is the conclusion.
And is it me, or does everything look red in almost every page? Kinda.
Sort of. So I couldn't get into the story, so I really couldn't tell you what I read anyway. To be honest, I'm glad it's ending in one more issue, and because it's ending in one more issue, obviously I'm going to read the last issue. But all in all, I would prefer Rulers of Earth over Cataclysm. If you're a Godzilla die-hard fan, this is definitely a book for you. The artwork's nice, but again, just not my kind of story, to be honest. Also, something that came out of IDW that I'm not showing here is Transformers Primacy. I believe it was issue... Geez, what issue was it? Let me see. It was issue number 4. Again, if you haven't been reading the digital first books, or the only digital books, you're going to be a little lost with this, so I'm not reviewing it, but it was a really good book. Next is Mike's book, Star Slammers, issue number 8.
Yeah. Now, in Star Slammers, excuse me, we find out that Vidiot is going to be a useful character in this book. Because with his mind control and everything, he is the key for this guy right here. Oh, what was his name? Roja, I think. And Phaedra is the person they call Sir. I remember that. So they're saying that Vidiot is the key to getting everything all said and done, in all that sense. So as the issue continues on, the artwork is great, by the way. They try to, you know, get everything settled. And Roja's saying, like, he wants to work together with Phaedra. And she believes him, like, saying, yeah, you know, let's work together, where he activates the bomb, and he basically screwed them over. So that was like, wow. Just wow that he did that. And the rest you gotta read on your own. But it's going to be useful for the story.
Alright, we're in Doberman, issue number 4 now.
My favorite. Frank Doberman. Well, the act he did this time was from last issue where he was in disguise. He brings his buddy like out to a bar, like, you know, and he gets like all wasted and everything because he's trying to get that. He gets really close together, Frank, with this girl that he, I think a psychologist, you know, the one I talked to. Like, they get very closer together, and they're actually working on a new thing where Jasper might be having a drug, and it has to deal with dogs. Like the dogs that they sell, then money with drugs. It's like a whole different scenario in the book. But it's very cool, actually, the way they explain it. And his friend gets into a little bit of trouble, and he doesn't want to see anyone getting hurt again like his partner did. So he winds up actually getting a dog, which was actually hilarious. but he really wants to get Jasper for because the guy's like saying Jasper's a good man. He wouldn't, he's not the one that does drugs and everything. But that's where the guy's wrong, and he actually does a fight scene with him naked and stuff. Like I thought that was pretty weird, but the way he just settles what's going on is very heroically amazing, and he makes a speech about it as well. He reminds me of, who he reminds me of? Duke Nukem. The way he does his come get sums and stuff like that. He reminds me of him. And I was trying to figure out what he reminds me of, and that's who he reminds me of. And, yeah. The rest I don't want to give too much away, but somebody gets shot.
Not shot.
Well, not shot. No, what's the word?
He has a heart attack, it looks like.
Did he have a heart attack? Yeah, it was a heart attack. My mistake. It looked like shot. My mistake. It was a heart attack. So, definitely something. So now this last issue, I'm going to have a drink of this.
Conclusion. This is the final issue of the episode. Super Secret Crisis War, the grand finale, issue number 6. It ended the way we figured, didn't it?
Yup. I called it. I called it. I'll tell you what I called. First of all, it starts off where our heroes are trying to get rid of the robots, along with Aku and the rest of the people, and they want to get back to their planet. And Mojo Joe actually helps them out with Ed, Ed, and Eddie. So they're trying to get out of this whole thing, and like we saw, except Mandark, because Mandark was kind of on his side, Aku and Ben 10's villain got into a fight. I called it, and I knew it was gonna be a villain fight. So, as that happened, Mojo Joe set them back in their tubes where they came in from, and everybody went back except Aku and Ben 10's villain. But it's not gonna be the last because, like we said in the last episode, I believe, there's the Powerpuff Girls Super Smash Up that's happening.
I don't know if it's going to be directly out of this book.
Well, I don't know if it's going to be directly out of the book, but I called it. I knew there was going to be a villain fight. Although I didn't think Mandark and Mojo Joe would actually...
Mojo Jojo.
Mojo Jojo. Well, how many Joes can you put in that sentence? To make it Mojo Jojo. Mojo Jojo.
So this was the last issue of the review. As always, feel free to let us know in the comments below. What did you like? What did you dislike? Do you agree or disagree with anything we have to say? Recommendations especially. Love to hear from you guys, and we will answer your guys' comments in the comments below.
Yep.
And also, as always, don't forget to check out Comic Related, Comic Frontline Zone 4 Podcast, and Frontline Gaming Zone. Together, we are your #1 source for comic-related news, reviews, and a whole bunch more. And as always, guys, take care, keep reading, keep collecting, and we'll see you guys in the next review.
Later, everybody.